Hello, my name is Sumesh and I am here to talk about the new AIOps feature within IBM Storage Insights called Workload Placement Advice. Before we get started, let me briefly introduce IBM Storage Insights. IBM Storage Insights is an observability platform that allows users to analyze, protect, and optimize your storage infrastructure. Loaded with AI capabilities, IBM Storage Insights can help use the power of AIOps to optimize storage, increase productivity, and accelerate issue resolution. Let me now introduce the Workload Placement Advice feature within IBM Storage Insights. Introduction of a new workload or application is a common scenario that all of us would have come across. The application team will specify a strict I/O and latency requirement, and it will be then left to the storage team to find the best suited storage. We should make sure that the new workload requirements are met, and at the same time, they will have to make sure that the workloads already hosted on that system are not impacted. To add to it, it is also important to consider the growth of the new workload as well as the existing workloads so that we don't end up in a scenario where the storage hosting all the workloads is saturated for both capacity and performance. Without AI, this could be a daunting task to look at each of the storage systems and assess if it meets the requirement. For instance, imagine if you want to find the best storage system out of the 20 storage systems that you have. IBM Storage Insights Workload Placement Advice is meant to assist in making this important decision and is backed by the analysis of the historical performance and capacity utilization. With that said, let's get into the demo. This is the IBM Storage Insights Pro dashboard, and once I am logged in, I can move into the planning section of IBM Storage Insights Pro and click on Workload Placement. I'm now on the Workload Placement page under IBM Storage Insights Pro. As I get started, the first step I'll do is to specify the details of my new workload that I plan to host on one of the storage systems. The first step would be to specify the capacity requirement for the new workload, expected yearly growth percentage for the new workload. By default, snapshot or safeguarded copies are considered for the new workload, and additionally, a capacity overhead of 20% is also factored. However, if I know that I will not need snapshot or safeguarded copy, this option can be disabled. Alternatively, if I know that the retention period for my snapshots or safeguarded copy would be more, then I can go ahead and modify the capacity overhead percentage as well. The next step will be to specify the IOPS requirement for the new workload, the read transfer size, the write transfer size, the read-write ratio, and the latency. It may so happen that as a user, I'm really not sure what my application workload requirements are. However, I know that the workload that I'm planning to host is an industry standard online transaction processing workload. The Workload Details section allows me to choose a workload type such as OLTP, and it also gives me an option to select a predefined template which is a small, medium or large t-shirt size. For example, I'm right now selecting small. With this, I need not fill the entire workload details. All the details are already pre-filled for me. I have an opportunity to modify these details or select or go with them as it is. Now that I have specified the workload details, the next step would be to set the storage system search scope. This search scope represents the storage systems which I would like to evaluate as a target storage system for my new workload. By default, all the storage systems in my environment are selected. As a user, I have an opportunity to narrow down my search scope. I can narrow down my search scope using the flash grid filter, or I could narrow down the search scope by selecting the storage systems of my choice. The next step would be to specify the date range for the analysis. This could be done from the top section. I can specify that I need the analysis for future 1 year, or it could go up to future 3 years. By default, workload placement considers historical capacity growth for the past 1 year. However, it may so happen that 1 year may not represent the correct growth trend for my workload. In that case, as a user, I can also change this historical capacity growth analysis from 1 year to 2 years, or I could reduce it from 1 year to 6 months. After I had chosen both the dates, I could hit the apply button. I am now ready to hit the evaluate button. As soon as I hit the evaluate button, the process starts to find the best match. This is how the result page is displayed. As you can see here, I had chosen 4 systems for my analysis, and the result page lists all of them, and it has given me a compatibility score for each of the storage systems. The first one, as you can see, has the highest score, which is 4.75 out of 5, and the last one is scored as 0 out of 5. This essentially means that the first storage system is the best suited target storage system for my new workload. Further, I can also drill down into each of these analyses. By clicking on the first storage system, it will give me the detailed metrics based on which this compatibility score is calculated. The first one is capacity, second one is IOPS, the data rate, latency, and CPU utilization. As you can see, the analysis is quite detailed. It not only lists the thresholds for each metric, it also gives me information about the historical growth, forecast without new workload, and the forecast with new workload. This is also available for the other metrics such as IOPS, data rate, latency, and CPU utilization. This allows a user to make an informed decision and leverages the power of AIOps to identify the best suited storage system for the new workload. Thank you for watching. Hope you found the video useful, and this will help you to leverage storage insights.